This webinar will provide detailed instructional guidance for completing a construction timeline as required as a component for an application to the SmartMove program. When completing the construction timeline, applicants must add tasks and anticipated completion dates under each major project milestone, from pre-construction through construction completion and closeout. The purpose of providing a construction timeline is for applicants to provide clear evidence of their ability to implement the project on time. Applicants may use the construction timeline template included on the DCA website and presented as part of this webinar, or applicants may submit construction timelines in their own preferred formats. However, if providing their own format, applicants must include all construction tasks delineated by the milestones set in this template, and at a minimum, include all of the same details in their schedule, including projected start and end dates, projected duration of each task, and those responsible for that task or subtask. Using the example here, please enter your anticipated project start and end dates. Then, begin entering tasks that fall within each major milestone of your project. When using the example template, the milestones are not editable. When completing the construction timeline, applicants must submit their timeline with tasks in the following major milestones: planning and pre-construction, construction at both 25% completion and construction at 50% completion, and finally, construction at 75% completion and closeout. At each milestone throughout this process, be sure to include any tasks related to public infrastructure work and resiliency design work. Applicants must ensure that the project is completed within 3 years from the start of grant execution. As needed, submit additional copies of this sheet.